Kim, what is our first main topic today?
All right, guys, our first main topic comes from Maxi S. Hi, JC and crew. Ridley Scott's The Last Duel was a box office dud. This weekend, House of Gucci will be widely released, and now the first reviews have come out, and they are lukewarm. How big can the movie's opening be, and how much of its box office success will have to do with Gaga's star power? I don't think the film will have legs. What do you think? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Maxi. And yeah, I had a chance to go see House of Gucci last night. And listen, I'm not going to hide it. I've been extremely excited for this movie. Like, I thought that when the trailers came out, I thought the trailers were fantastic. I loved that. And when I found out that Paolo Gucci was being played by Jared Leto, I'm like, that's Jared Leto? I just couldn't believe it. And you look at the cast: Jeremy Irons, Al Pacino, Adam Driver, Lady Gaga, Jared Leto. I mean, it's a star-studded cast, and I'm a sucker for, based on true story kind of movies and things like that. And again, other than Al Pacino, no Italians in the cast. That's whatever. That a lot of people complain about. I didn't mind the accents. I thought they did fine. It's whatever. Adam Driver, man, I continue to be impressed by this guy. He's so good. Anyway, so I go in to watch House of Gucci. Now, for those of you who don't know much about it, this comes to us from the official website of the movie that describes it as: when Patrizia Reggiani, an outsider from humble beginnings, marries into the Gucci family, her unbridled ambition begins to unravel the family legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder. So that is the official synopsis of the thing, based on the true story, the events of the Gucci brand and the Gucci family and the Gucci name. And so I went into it with very high expectations, extremely high expectations. And I'll say this: overall, this is a good movie. This is a solid, good movie overall. The first two acts of the film, now the movie's like 2 hours and 37 minutes long or something like that. The first two acts of the movie, like the first hour and a half or so, hour and 45 minutes of the movie, I was loving it. Like, not liking it, loving it. It had charm and personality. The dynamics between the characters were great. It was really funny. The dynamics were so well done. I was just enjoying it immensely. And I remember hearing that it was kind of getting some lukewarm reaction in its early screenings. And I'm watching the first two acts of this film. I'm like, why? Why was this getting lukewarm reactions? This is great so far. Jeremy Irons, I just love Jeremy Irons, and Al Pacino was great in it too. The performances are fantastic. Lady Gaga is showing that A Star Is Born wasn't a fluke. Her Star Is Born stuff, and I didn't know that she was actually doing acting all through high school and all through, so I was like, okay, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, Star Is Born, her performance in that, no fluke. And again, Adam Driver's Adam Driver. I'll say this too, not that people go into these movies looking for it, because if you want sex, you can just hop online and see sex if that's what you want. I'll tell you, for a non-R-rated movie, it was one of the hottest sex scenes. And because I saw, there's a British late night talk show that everybody goes on. Graham Norton. Thank you. Graham Norton. That's who it was. I always remember watching an interview with Adam Driver and Lady Gaga on Graham Norton. And Graham Norton was talking about a sex scene. Like, why are they talking about a sex scene? And he's saying, this is like one of the hottest, non-R-rated sex scenes you'll ever see. And then I went to see the movie. I'm like, artistically, it was really well done. I mean, it's a very hot, passionate sex scene without it, crossing into R-rated territory and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's a side note. Just me loving the filthy. But then you get to the third act. And here's where the problems begin for me with the movie, is that the third act grinds to a crawl. First two acts of the movie for me had great pace, great humor. It had a definite, absolute, really kind of wild cadence going to it. There was a chaos to it in a way, which kind of is reflective of the character that Gaga plays, Patrizia. There's a chaos that follows her around and you feel that. And then when you get into that third act, everything just slows down. And it just drags to a crawl. And it feels like everything they tried to do was taking 15 minutes to do. Like, whereas earlier in the film, it was boom, boom, cadence, pace, boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden, third act just slowed right down. And it was kind of grueling to get through.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was like really, really grueling to get through the last hour. And then they made the really weird choice. I mean, look, it's history. Everybody knows Maurizio Gucci is assassinated. That's the true life thing. But they go through what should have been the third act of the film in 5 minutes. And instead gave us like 50 minutes to an hour of this slow, drudging, kind of slow pace and unnecessary scenes and all that kind of stuff. So look, for me, at the end of the day, in a thumbs up or thumbs down world, House of Gucci is a thumbs up movie. It's solid, great moments. I found it entertaining. The dynamics between the characters, again, were fantastic, top notch. I'm still amazed. I'm going through the whole movie looking at Jared Leto and still trying to recognize or reconcile that that's Jared Leto I'm seeing on the screen. It's just great. I loved him. And his dynamic, because he plays Al Pacino's son in it. And their father-son dynamic, I really liked a lot. So it's just that you get into that third act. That third act is what prevents this from being a great movie.
Oh, man.
It really prevents it. But I would still recommend people see it. I still recommend people see it. Just understand that when you get in the third act, it's going to become laborious to watch in the third act. But the first two acts are worth it. And again, I just love the characters they brought to life. I thought it was great. Have you had any interest in seeing this?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. As I've watched Gaga, she reminds me of Cher. One of my
She does have a Cher quality.
movies that's in my top 10
Moonstruck?
favorite movies is Moonstruck,
I love
honey.
Moonstruck.
Oh, man, you took my hand. You took my bride. That's my terrible Nick Cage. But she's like Cher. She's going to get the Oscar. I think, I haven't seen it, but even from the trailers, from what I'm seeing, I'm like, girl, you go. I'm excited. I was excited that she got the part. I was excited when I saw the trailer. Oh, the trailers were awesome.
So good.
I'm so disappointed. I'm still gonna see it. I hope I feel the momentum continue. But if you say it drops off at the third, I'm still happily gonna give it a chance. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah. Again, don't misquote me. Oh, Campea hated it. No. In a thumbs up or thumbs down world, this movie's a thumbs up for me. Overall, the good outweighed the bad, but it is unfortunate that so many movies have a hard time sticking the landing, and this one suffers from that. Anyway, question is for you guys. Have you had a chance to see The House of Gucci? If so, what did you think of it? Maybe you loved the whole thing through and through. Maybe you hated the whole thing. Maybe you're like me and it's like, yeah, the good outweighed the bad. Whatever you guys are feeling, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts.